Hey guys, so we're gonna talk about big data IoT visualization today. I guess you all know the problem. You're still driving the car from last season and you ordered already the new one for this summer and you're desperately waiting for it. But why isn't it there yet? The factory has bottlenecks. And so why is the factory not producing the car in a pace that poor Tim here gets his new car on time? Well, for example, Volvo has a plant in Torslanda. They produce around 300,000 cars a year with an average uptime of 93%. This uptime can be increased by proactive monitoring up to 96.4%. That increase in uptime can increase the productivity in a way that Volvo would save $4 billion in lost revenue. So why are they not doing it, or how could they achieve that? Well, the problem is that the people that are doing the maintenance in the factory are service engineers, and they would need the data from the sensors in the production facilities in a mobile manner because they're not office people. They don't sit in front of a PC waiting for the data to come in. They're out there in the field fixing the fixing the production facilities. So there's a gap because the sensors are not yet connected to mobile devices. That's where we come into play, Viscom. We take the data from the sensors in the factories and bring them to the devices in an actionable manner, that the people, the service engineers, can actually take the insights and take the decisions right on the spot where they need to fix the machines in order to keep the uptime of the production facilities running. How are we going to get those customers? Well, our business model involves a B2B model because our end customer are industry companies and they have long sales cycles. In order to get to them, we need to go through sensor companies which we partnered up with. Why are the industry company? Why is this an interesting thing for the industry? Because due to the real-time data visualization, then they can adapt faster their machines and they can innovate faster. But why would sensor companies be interested in helping us out, pitch our product to them? Because due to the fact that it's an added value for their customers, it's also an added value for the sensor company's product. Because the sensor themselves are not giving insights. We need to make something out of the data they're gathering. That's where we come into play and help the hardware manufacturers of sensors. The other thing is we can also help them cross-sell products, because in our product we can say, okay, you're already gathering this data, but you're still not gathering this data. You need to buy the additional sensors. That's why it's interesting for sensor companies. And the last part is the customer relationship between the sensor companies and the industry. Since sensors are just hardware somewhere in the room, there's no real interaction with it. So in order to have a real communication between the sensor companies and the industry, we are having a product where people actually interact with and have a good experience with. So how are we going to tackle this? Well, we're already working on it heavily. And obviously, I'm not alone in this. So we have our team here. There's Nicky. He's our hardware guy. There's me. I have some entrepreneurial experience and are the mobile person. But the both of us, we're not the brightest people. That's why we have heavy backup from our pretty ladies over here. There's Nidhi. She has already experience in the car manufacturing industry. There's Yuka. She's the brain behind it. He's the data scientist. She will do all the heavy lifting. And of course, we're as salespeople. This is Najifa. She's our head of sales. She has an adorable smile and is a killer closer. Is this interesting? Well, by the end of 2020, we will roughly have 4 billion connected people with multi-trillion-dollar opportunities in this area. And especially in the mobile field where we tackle in, there will be a lot of money and saving potential for those companies. But if this market is so interesting, there must be others, right? Not quite. We're basically the only one that tackled the actionable visualizations in the mobile field. So we will be the first in this. And we are. We already talked with Nathan, the CEO of SparkFun, and he's really excited of our prototype that we provide to him next week. Where are we going from there? Well, we have already the partnership with SparkFun. The next step is, with SparkFun together, go to Volvo, install our platform, and have to really figure out in the prototype what are the real pain points of our customers. Get a feeling for them, develop together with with Volvo, with SparkFun, the prototype, in order to get the product market fit. And then is where the growth phase will start. We try to get more sensor companies on board. We will also talk directly to industry providers, because the industry is probably also having multiple sensor providers and maybe already installed solutions. That's what we tackle next. And afterwards, we can also expand to other industries like healthcare, logistics, agriculture, you name it. So what do we need? We only need $1 million with a 5 million cap, 30% discount. So be wise, invest in wisdom. Thank you.
On a side note, this was the only team that actually managed to get a dog into their presentation at the end of the week. So, thank you very much. Do we have any questions? You will ask a question.
Please.
Yeah, first, just to understand the product, like you're using sensor data and provide it to the maintenance departments at the industries to help them to have higher uptime on their machines, and it's all type of like manufacturing companies. So, will you use the sensor data to help them to be more proactive, so they know that, so they can keep fewer maintenance sessions, or like how does the data help them to keep the uptime higher?
It has several aspects to it. The first one is the proactive monitoring. For example, currently most of the monitoring is only happening in the same spot. So, okay, the machine has a downtime, then is where you get alerts, okay, machine is not running. But over the time, with the data of the sensors, you can actually see, okay, maybe before downtime is happening, there is a spike in temperature, a climate change, for example, or something else. So external factors that have an impact, that helps you predict when there's a downtime maybe. That you can say, okay, maybe we should lower the output of the machine during those times, whatever it might be, very warm, very cold, very humid, whatever external environmental factors come into, in order to produce a little bit less over a short time, but not having downtime afterwards.
Oh, how many questions can I ask, by the way?
You can
go ahead.
You may ask one more question now, and then you can ask a lot more questions there.
Okay.
There's a time slot afterwards to meet the team.
So basically, what are the main reasons for downtime today in machines, and how many percentage of that downtime do you think that you could help them solve or keep up?
I mean, it's kind of a very this is an optimization problem. There are a lot of factors that play into what makes machines break. Usually, I'm missing the English word. Like, one of the main factors is just using material that's get used up, and there are circumstances when this usage of material is just more intense, and where you just need to lower the output of the machine. That's one of the main things that basically causes downtime, too much workload on the machines. And then the other one is not enough maintenance. So what we also try to do is optimize the maintenance cycles. So with a good monitoring, you can say, most of the factors, they say, okay, we have a maintenance cycle, this type of machine has a maintenance cycle every month. But there might be some machines that only need a maintenance every 1.5 months, and other machines maybe need it every 3 weeks. So if you gather all this intelligence, you can optimize your maintenance cycles, because while doing the maintenance, that's a downtime as well, because you can't fix a machine while it's running. And the numbers, I think we have found some reports that we can have an increase in uptime. It was 3.4%, I think.
Thank you very much. Very insightful. We have some sensor expert representatives here who are partnering already with the Viscom team, so you can have a further conversation with them. I would like to move on to our second team.
One last thing, if one of the people with spare money is very passionate about soccer, talk to me after this.
Okay, interesting plug.
It's really nothing else